What's up, MetaNerdz? This complete breakdown will pull from every resource to completely understand the Sentinel-class. The landing craft, built by Sinar Fleet Systems and Cygnus Spaceworks, is a heavily armed transport designed for troop deployment. Its design is based on the Lambda-class shuttle, which in turn was influenced by the older Theta-class shuttle. Though unlike the Lambda, the Sentinel is built for war, with armor plating that's 25% heavier. It also has 4 deflector shield projectors, 2 in the front and 2 in the rear, rated at 120 SBD, along with a hull that comes in at 28 RU. Despite its size and weight, the Sentinel is surprisingly fast and maneuverable, thanks to its Cygnus HD7 engine. It can accelerate at 2,400 G, hit speeds of 70 megalight in space, and reach up to 1,000 km per hour or 621 miles per hour when in atmosphere, putting it on par with most starfighters and outpacing most bombers. It's equipped with a primary Class 1 hyperdrive, backed up by a Class 10 unit, and both are controlled by the HD7 hyperdrive activator. The ship isn't cheap, costing 240,000 credits, which is 100k more than a Lambda class or equivalent to 4 TIE fighters. It measures 38 meters in length, making it nearly twice the size of the Lambda. And you do get great firepower. It has 8 retractable laser cannons, 2 concussion missile launchers with 8 missiles each, a retractable ion cannon turret, and 2 retractable repeating blaster cannon turrets. The interior is modular and can be adjusted based on mission needs. In its standard troop transport setup, it can carry 58 stormtroopers, about 6 squads, along with 12 E-Web heavy repeating blasters and 6 74Z speeder bikes. If the seats are removed, it can instead transport 36 speeder bikes, 12 compact assault vehicles like ATSTs or ATPTs, or even TIE Maulers and SPMA artillery units, the smaller and more mobile versions of the massive artillery pieces from the Clone Wars. When fully loaded with troops, it maxes out at 75 on board and has a total cargo capacity of 180 metric tons. And it operates with a crew of 5, a pilot, co-pilot/sensor officer, and 3 gunners. Though if you were the sole survivor of a crew of one of these things, all your friends were taken out by rebel assassins or eaten by Ewoks planetside, a single pilot could operate it. The head gunner controls the 8 fire-linked laser cannons, while the other 2 handle the ion cannon, repeating blasters, and missile launchers. Its sensor suite, housed in the cockpit, allows it to navigate almost any environment, and it includes infrared imaging, motion detectors, and life form indicators, while the ship's computer has an automatic mapping function and a basic autopilot that can guide it to an Imperial base, starship, or homing beacon in case of emergencies. So even if you bleed out from that Ewok attack, you can die at peace, knowing that at least this expensive property will make it back to the Empire, and your death won't be a burden to the glorious Emperor. A powerful communications array allows it to stay in contact with all Imperial ships and garrisons within a system, making it a vital asset for Imperial operations. And it was built for extended missions, carrying enough supplies to last a month, while tough enough to take multiple hits from the turrets of a Quasar Fire class. It could even be modified with special containers to transport other vehicles. For visibility, it had 2 front-facing spotlights, and it was easy to board with multiple entry points, including a front ramp, a rear ramp, and side doors. Inside, the ship had a main passenger section and a cockpit, while the passenger and cargo areas featured benches and harnesses along the sides, and a ladder near the front ramp led to a hatch for cockpit access. The cockpit itself had 4 seats, and some models even included a refresher, a bathroom, on the opposite side of the ladder, which a lot of you know is a very rare feature to find on a ship. After the Clone Wars, the Empire shifted from using planet-landing ships like the Acclamator-class assault ship to massive star destroyers that remained in orbit. This change created a need for a heavily armored, maneuverable landing craft to deploy troops directly onto battlefields. The Cygnus Sinar shuttle family met most of the Empire's transport needs, and the Sentinel-class, introduced sometime before the Battle of Yavin, eventually became the standard troop transport for the Imperial Navy. And while its main job was moving troops between star destroyers, cruisers, and planetary surfaces, the Sentinel-class did fill a ton of other roles. It could serve as air support, a short-range scout, a light cargo transport, and even starfighter support. And we often see it used alongside larger dropships like the Y-85 Titan or AT-AT barges for combined infantry and armor assaults. Many Imperial garrisons kept at least one Sentinel-class shuttle for quick atmospheric transport, and one of those special modified cargo containers could include vehicles as large as ATSTs, making it a highly versatile option. In 13 BBY, a young Han Solo, desperate to escape Corellia, joined the Imperial Navy stationed on the planet. Dreaming of becoming one of the galaxy's greatest pilots, he applied for the Imperial Navy, hoping it would eventually give him access to the ship so he could rescue his love Kira, who had been captured by the White Worm's gang. During his enlistment, Chief Recruitment Officer Dward Mundbrin gave him the surname Solo and ordered him aboard Transport ID-83, a Sentinel-class landing craft bound for the Imperial Navy Academy on Karaida. The Sentinel-class was frequently used for transporting Imperial cadets and troops, and one of these shuttles ferried cadets from the Academy for Young Imperials on Lothal to a nighttime aquatic training exercise. Then, stormtroopers in the Grand Inquisitor once took a Sentinel-class to Fort Anaxis, an abandoned Republic military base, in hopes of capturing and eliminating the Spectres. After a brief skirmish, Jedi Kanan Jarrus managed to escape by piloting the Phantom and destroying the shuttle. Minister Makath Tua of Lothal was scheduled to take a Sentinel-class to meet with Grand Moff Tarkin, but as she boarded, the shuttle exploded in a trap set by Agent Kallus and Darth Vader, which killed her. The rebels, who were notorious for stealing Imperial ships, later hijacked multiple Sentinel-class shuttles, including one named Lagos. And Kanan, along with Rex, used one of these stolen shuttles in a mission to destroy an Imperial interdictor. We would see one during the Imperial attempt to try and retake a captured carrier, commandeered by the Spectres and Free Ryloth movement. Meanwhile, on Jedha, during the insurgency against the Empire, Baze Malbus and Chirrut Imwe, members of the Guardians of the Wills, joined Saw Gerrera's partisans in stealing a Sentinel. Though Gerrera initially planned to use the shuttle to ram an orbiting Star Destroyer, Malbus and Imwe convinced his troops to stick to the original plan, evacuating an orphanage, saving and trying to provide hope for the future, instead of using this asset for what would just prove to be meaningless destruction. Right before the Battle of Yavin, at least one Sentinel-class was sent to Tatooine as part of the Empire's search for the droids carrying the stolen Death Star plans. It was seen flying over Foot Patrol 7, a squad of sand troopers hunting for the fugitives. And shortly after, ISB Commander Alicia Beck used one to transport a squad of stormtroopers off the Vehement during her pursuit of Caloan Amat, a lieutenant in the Alliance to restore the Republic. In 3 ABY, during the Battle of Hoth, they would successfully drop snowtroopers onto the icy battlefield. Not long after, the Empire sent 7 of these landing craft to Bespin, carrying the occupation forces to secure the city. At one point, a Sentinel carrying Emperor Palpatine was mistakenly attacked by Dr. Rhaegar. The Doctor had built a powerful cannon using the Sun Star's energy, hoping to hit the Emperor, but he hit the shuttle instead. And the last we see of Rhaegar is that he was entering the shuttle to face his punishment from Palpatine. And after rebel prisoners escaped from the Maul, being freed by Rogue Squadron, they use a Sentinel to make their getaway. And production of this shuttle actually continues even after the Battle of Endor. By 6 ABY, Sentinels had become widespread, not just among Imperial remnants, but also among private buyers. Thanks to their durability, heavy firepower, and versatility, they were able to outlive the Empire that created them. The Rebel Alliance, the New Republic, and Galactic Federation of Free Alliances, private owners, and various mercenary groups all adopted the Sentinel class for their own use. And of course, the tons of those that were still in the Imperial remnant. Though the New Republic eventually developed its own replacement for the Sentinel, the Bantha-class troop carrier, which featured even heavier armor than the Imperial version. Though despite this, at least one Sentinel class, the last one we ever hear of, is named Nurer, and was still in service as late as 139 APY under the Fel Empire. There aren't much behind-the-scenes facts, but it has the incredible honor of being one of the few what are called C-canon elements, things that came from the expanded universe material like comics or games, to actually make it into the most canon of media, the actual movies, with it first appearing in the game Shadows of the Empire, and making it into this special edition of A New Hope. There are a lot of critiques of the special editions, but just for the lore on this ship, it is pretty impressive. Something about this design really impressed Lucas, to the point that he wanted to add it to his baby, the very first of the Star Wars movies. And the Sentinels have also been used as Imperial landing craft in all 3 Star Wars RTS games, Force Commander, Galactic Battlegrounds, and Empire at War. If you want to learn more, a lot of the resources came from the Essential Guide to Vehicles and the New Chronology. Please hit that like button, it really is the best way to help me out. Subscribe so you don't miss anything, and check out these other videos, I'm sure you'll like them. But most important of all, remember, shuttles keep your military running, and the Force will be with you, always.